beautiful coral pink walls like the sunset in our living room, bright yellow in the dining room. So like you could feel things every time you walked into a room. You know, I grew up seeing the dramatic emotional change of what an interior can do with color.
Hi, Shelly.
Hi.
I'm Sujean, and this is Alchemy Social, a podcast about the magic of in-person experiences. Today I'm chatting with my friend and interior design extraordinaire, Shelly Lynch-Sparks, whose work you've probably seen in Architectural Digest or the New York Times. She held impressive roles at HGTV and Anthropologie before venturing out to start her own design studio, Hyphen Co, and she actually helped me redesign Milk Bar stores back when I was COO. Shelly has brought that same intuitive magic to homes, offices, and restaurants across the country, including her own café, One Trick Pony, which she runs with her wife, Candace.
I'm on my first date with somebody. I want to look smooth, walk into the bathroom or coming out of it. I don't need to ask 7 people before I get there.
Which you're saying is a design flaw.
100%. If you have to think too much in a space that you're in, that means you're not comfortable. And I want you to be comfortable.
Is that approach unique?
I want to tell the story so when people come into this space, they remember it and they also understand why your brand color is hot pink.
You don't think about that, just as a layperson.
You have to ace those 2 things.
Why did you do it?
And now it has become much bigger than we could have imagined.
Because it's doing so well.
It is doing very well.
It's just funny, though. We sign up for all of this pain, but we do it willingly.
The beginning is very hard. And not a lot of people talk about how hard it is. I just need to take a chance on myself. And I did.
I'm so glad you're here. Hit subscribe so we can stay connected, and let's dive into this conversation of Alchemy Social. Hi, Shelly.
Hi.
I've known you for nearly a decade.
I know.
You have always loved and been incredibly talented at design, and specifically interior design. And to me, especially as the world goes more digital, I think creating immersive spaces that make you feel a certain way and are smooth and enjoyable physical containers so that humans can actually just focus on what's really important is the gift that you bring to the world.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. What is your first memory of designing a space?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I grew up in the South in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And my mom has always been obsessed with color. So our house growing up was painted many different colors. And then she and my dad split up. So then the house became really bright. It was how she got through the divorce. It was beautiful coral pink walls like the sunset in our living room and a bright yellow in the dining room. So it was almost like you could feel things every time you walked into a room. And then basically from the time that I was, a teenager, I repainted and rearranged my room. And for Christmas or a birthday, I would ask for a new comforter set so I could change the design of my room and the layout of my room. So that is where it started.
Why? Why did you want that? I don't think I ever once asked my parents for a new design.
I think it's because my environment changed so much and not in a chaotic way. It was a really beautiful way. Often now I see it when people are getting married or having a baby or getting a divorce, they transform their lives. They transform their interiors. They want a change. And my dad is also a contractor, so they got renovated the house. So it was I grew up seeing that. And then also the dramatic emotional change of what an interior can do.
Is that the reason why you then went to study art in school?
I mean, I wasn't good at math. I was terrible at math. And it was just one of those things where it's I was really good at art from a really young age. I was in art and wood shop and those are the classes that I thrived in. And then I took a year off after I graduated and traveled. And I went to Europe. I went to 17 different countries and I was oh, this is where they keep the good stuff, And so I fell in love with interiors design, classical architecture, and really got to see spaces and textures that I'd never seen before in America. And so that's when I decided, I was like, oh, I'm going to go to design school.
That's actually one of the reasons why I think I love Europe so much. Even just like the mundane streets, to us, it would just be like sort of filler neighborhood in the city. There, the filler itself is a destination to take photos of because every block is just so stunning.
I know. It's like eye candy everywhere.
Yeah.
Just sitting down and looking around, it's just so beautiful. You just stop and you're like, oh, I didn't see that before. Or you could walk down the same street. It's the same thing as New York.
Yeah.
I try to, when I came back this time from Europe, I try to walk down the street in New York and really like phone away, look up, take in. Sometimes I take my headphones out because I'm like, I want to hear the sounds, even though sometimes they can be obviously overwhelming. I want to feel it. I want to feel the city.
Yeah.
And there's so many beautiful buildings here that I have become like newly obsessed with.
Okay, so you come back with this newfound appreciation for just aesthetic beauty of like streets and buildings. How does that get you to your first paid job in interior design?
Oh man, well first you got to get through design school, which is no joke. It's like no sleep. I would assume that an MBA, but maybe not. That's partying.
We slept a lot. We partied a lot. We traveled a lot.
That's right. I was like, no. Yes, there was definitely no sleep. And then coming out of school, I graduated during the recession. So I graduated in 2008 with my design degree, and from there, I couldn't get a job at a normal design firm because they had just laid everybody off. So I had some friends that worked in film and TV, and they were like, oh, just come be an art director. It's like the same thing, but for like movies and music videos.
Set design?
If you look at a lot of decorators' work, they design in vignettes where it's like you're almost designing for camera. You're designing for what you see, right? Room by room. And so it's like I really got a chance to see that perspective. And then I got a big break working as a interior designer for behind the scenes for HGTV.
So interesting. You don't think about that, like just as a layperson, the fact that when you're designing for TV, it all has to fit in that frame.
Yeah, it's like what we're sitting in right now.
So then how does that give you a different outlook than, say, someone who hasn't had that type of experience in the interior design world?
Well, this is my opinion. A decorator can look at a room and fill the space with objects and style, and they can see basically just like what I was explaining, where it's like you design for camera. They see a space just like that. Whereas an interior designer and architect, I personally feel like they're thinking about the holistic entire home. And sometimes I feel like some of those details get missed where they're like, oh, it's too much. And they're afraid to take that chance where, you know, you're like, no, let's just fill the space with everything.
The three-dimensional piece is what you fill in when you're actually thinking about the entire home and not just the shot.
Right.
You also did a stint at companies like Anthropologie.
Yes. I think it was one of those things where I was like, I gotta get a job with benefits. I can't keep working on film sets. And also I was like waiting tables at the same time and like trying to pay off my student loans. It was a hard time, but also it was like it was a perfect time for growth. So I ended up at Anthro and I was doing all their home styling. Cool. So that's where I really learned how to style and like understand, okay, when we design a bookshelf, we take everything off and we start from scratch. And then we, go piece by piece. And that is like truly how I learned to style. And I'm very thankful for that. And then ended up at Homepolish, which was the startup and that's where we met, right?
That's where we met.
Yeah.
When I was chief operating officer of Milk Bar, we wanted to refresh all of our retail look and feel, give it just a refreshed sort of, exactly. Not only to make it look more modern, but also to help streamline the consumer experience so that it would be easier to come and order and purchase. Yeah. And you did that with us.
Yeah, when I started my own company.
Okay, so that is a huge undertaking.
Yes.
Something that I am personally experiencing just the very early stages of. It's like mentally grueling. It's like physically demanding. Great.
I would say there's like ebbs and flows. I think about this constantly. I think about other people, entrepreneurs. I'm like, how do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Yeah. Talk to me. What do you lose your sleep over? And then there are times where I'm fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. And you're like, I would never trade this for the world. It's definitely like peaks and valleys.
Yeah. So what was the experience? Walk me through the unfolding of maybe I should go out on my own, to taking the full leap off the edge of the cliff into the abyss?
Oh my God. I think if I hadn't had the support from previous clients or, Noah was a mentor, Noah Santos, who owned Homepolish, having that support gives you the confidence. And I had saved up some money and I basically had started taking on clients like a month before I was going to leave. And then I, from there, hired my intern who then became my design assistant. And it was just the two of us. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I think about those days and I still want to apologize for some of the people that I worked with early on because I was like a chicken running around with their head cut off. I was just like so crazed and trying to do everything because you're like designing and then paying vendors, and I was doing 10 people's jobs and then also trying to deliver a good design, and I did. And so then I just kept hiring. And then every year it's like you're learning obviously in real time. You see all the holes as you're going through the motions. So you're trying to correct things in real time.
Yeah.
And for residential, people are going through things. They're having a baby. They're getting divorced. It's like always a transition. And so there's a lot of hand-holding that needs to happen, and it is a lot of emotional support.
Yeah.
So you have to be a whole person. And
therapist, friend, designer.
Yes. The beginning is very hard, and not a lot of people talk about how hard it is.
Why did you do it?
That's a really good question. I think I got to a point where in New York, I think there's definitely a period of time where you're like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Who am I going to work with next? Who am I going to collaborate with next? What company am I going to go to? And then I just kind of got to the end where I was like, I've like literally worked and done so much that I mean, anthro and movie sets and music videos and hospitality, working for a high-end residential, working for a startup. I was like, okay, what else can I touch? And I basically was like, it's time. Like, I just need to take a chance on myself. And I did. It's hard.
It's just a very interesting philosophical question too, because it's so strange. Like we have worked in such different industries.
Yes.
And yet that feeling is the identical feeling that I've had more and more strongly over the years, which is why when I did something, I, ventured out just in the last year to start a podcast, but which is so different from what you do. And yet I could say the same exact words that you just said, where I just felt like I was looking for the next job, the next brand, the next title.
Yeah, the next title.
At some point, I was like,
Totally.
I sort of have done a lot of different interesting things, and I don't want to do yet one more different interesting job at a cool brand.
Yeah.
And so it's just funny, though. We sign up for all of this pain, but we do it willingly. And I can't imagine doing anything else right now. But it's like,
we sign up for all of this pain. There's beauty.
It's so beautiful.
There are times where I wake up and I think, am I doing this the right way? It's like there's always puzzle pieces that are moving to find like the perfect fit and get to the end game,
So you stood up Hyphen Co, the design studio, in 2017.
Yes.
And since then, you have worked with very diverse clients across commercial spaces, hospitality, wellness. When you created the company, what was the original vision?
We were designing a lot of office spaces and working in residential. The residential touch helps our commercial office spaces be more approachable and, it feels like your living room, right? Then I'm looking at actual design technique and looking at my team and I'm like, nobody knows how to design a retail store here. We got to dive into retail, how to merchandise, like that piece. So then I had friends that were like, I'm opening this really small restaurant. Can you help with it? So then that was the beginning. And now I think we're on our 12th restaurant.
Wow. I mean, I guess you've answered the question, what is the value prop that people are coming to you for that separates you from every other designer and design shop? And it sounds like what you're saying is you have this breadth of knowledge of the different spaces that you're trying to create depending on the use of the space, whether it's hospitality versus wellness versus residential.
Yeah, I think if you look at interior designers' portfolios, a lot of designers have an aesthetic you know, and their aesthetic is beautiful. And that is why the client goes to them, because it's like all their spaces, it's their calling card. You can tell exactly who designed it. And I have favorite designers that I love that I can identify their work if I see it on a page, you know. For us, we design for the client. So if you're telling me that you like hot pink and this is your brand, I want to get in there and like bring it to life in the space. I want to tell the story. So when people come into this space, they remember it. They keep coming back because they love it so much. Brand recognition. And so that piece is why people come to us. And for residential, we also design for client. So if you want something super colorful or super neutral, we can do either.
Right. So rather than being prescriptive about a certain aesthetic that you're like, if you do this, it will look really beautiful.
Right.
And this is a certain style that I'm going to like suggest and recommend to you.
Yes. Or fight you on.
Right. You like sort of get in there with each individual client or brand to kind of like feel their feelings.
Yes.
And bring those feelings to life.
Yes. Yes. We like to say we're the sprinkles to our clients' ice cream. I'm just adding and also steering you in the right direction. So it's like, maybe we don't pull in this wild tie-dye into a really soft neutral space, or maybe we do, and then we have art that speaks to it. I try to find little pieces of them that work in a design and guide them to a place where we're coming to the decision and meeting and collaborating together instead of pushing an aesthetic.
Is that approach unique?
That is a great question. And I think the answer is it depends. We're living in the world of social media. So if you go to probably designers that you follow on Instagram, you'll see their Instagram can be sometimes one note because that is their aesthetic.
Right.
And I think that is very popular right now. And I think that's like how some interior designers like catapult to fame very quickly, especially if a celebrity sees it and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And then everybody's house kind of starts looking the same. We've gone through that a few times. If you watch design trends like the white and black farmhouses and then like everything's all white and neutral and now color is starting to come back because people aren't scared of it anymore. And then you have people like me where I want someone to come to us and be like, they can do anything.
Yeah. I'm so curious, what is the process by which you suss out a person's like inner desires? Because I'm sure there are a lot
of feelings, like their vibe.
It's like you have to get inside their head and figure out what it is that they will see and be like, that's the space that I wanted. So is it literally the Pinterest board that they populate? Or do you just like get to know their personality?
It's all of it. I mean, I think personality, it's a lot, especially with residential, it's a lot of conversations early on. But sometimes I get a lot of different images that say a lot of different things. I'm like, okay, great. So we're going to sit down and look at this. And like, is it the chair that's calling to you? Or is it like this wallpaper? And here, is it the paint color? In the very beginning, we go through a whole schematic phase of showing concept to clients. It's pages and pages, room by room of how the space should feel. And sometimes we have a client that's like, I hate, like they have a visceral reaction to an image. It could be like a headboard or a color on a wall or something like wild. And I'm like, okay, great. This is excellent feedback because it gets me into the right direction.
Right. Going back to what you were talking about earlier, you have the physical aspects of visual ingredients like colors, materials, furniture pieces, fixtures, things like that, lighting. And then you have the emotional side of things, like a space can make you feel happy, sad, calm, excited. How do those interplay when you're designing a space? Do you lead with one or the other? Are you like, I want someone to walk in and feel calm, and therefore everything is built around that?
Ooh, okay. There's two parts of this. Obviously, we're designing the floor plan, right? We're designing the client journey through the space, whether it's their home or it's a restaurant or it's an office or whatever. So we're looking at what that journey feels like. Also, we're looking at the geography. If I'm coming off a busy street in New York, do I want to walk into like a calming place? If I'm going into a meditation class, I want to immediately feel like this is a calm place to take my coat off, my shoes off, and there's a place for all of my things, and I instantly feel relief when I walk in the door, right? So how are we designing the space? What's the color palette? Like, what's the signage look like? Is there enough space for a lot of people, to enter. And then if I'm in a crazy retail space or a restaurant or a bar, I want this shit to be Instagrammable. I want the bar top to be beautiful so that when the cocktail sits down, it looks stunning. Or do I want people to come in here, grab their burger and exit swiftly and go to a movie right after? It's like looking at fast casual where it's like, how do we get people to move through this space quickly, eat and go? So it's like, we have to design a space where the flow matches like the energy of the finishes, but also that still looks lovely and inviting and people want to come back to. It's challenging.
Yeah. It seems like you have to think about a lot of things, which I think a lot of people just take for granted because they're like, it was a nice space. But if the space is done right and thoughtfully, the designer is taking 8 steps back and thinking about it from such a high bird's eye view of everything that you're talking about, which the consumer just doesn't even register.
Okay, let me flip this on you where when you walk into a space and you can't find the trash can, you're thinking about that. You shouldn't be thinking about where the trash can is. Right. You should know exactly where it is. Yeah. Or where the bathroom is. That means the signage isn't in the right spot. You have to ask someone, which happens a lot. Yeah. Especially in New York. I'm just like, just put a really great sign up. I'm on my first date with somebody. I want to like look smooth, walk into the bathroom or coming out of it. I don't need to like ask 7 people before I get there.
Which you're saying is a design flaw.
100%. There are many times where I've almost walked into the kitchen because I thought that was the bathroom. I feel like if you have to think too much in a space that you're in, that means you're not comfortable. And I want you to be comfortable. I want you to walk into a space and not even think about it. I want you to enjoy the space you're in. And you're well-traveled. Think about all the beautiful interiors you've seen all over the world and how you're just like, this is amazing.
That's so insightful because, okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, for the person who's experiencing the space, whether I'm the resident or the client or the diner, if the space is designed well, there are no distractions to take away from the actual enjoyment of the point that you're there, which is I'm there to like spend quality time with whoever I'm there with and enjoy the food. And that is on the designer to think through so that that flow is seamless.
You should be thinking about literally every single thing.
So the consumer doesn't get stuck.
Yes. Also, then on the back end of the restaurant, I need to make sure that the back of house is so functional where they get their napkins. And it's like every part of it, we need to know. We need to have information on the back end and also on the front end. The same thing for offices. It's like if I have an all hands once a week and it's 100 employees are in the office space, okay, then we need stackable chairs. Do we need a kitchen island that can probably extend or a dining table? So we're thinking about all of those things. Function and design obviously go hand in hand. I think in order for people to be comfortable in a space, you have to ace those 2 things. Yeah. And listen, we don't every single time, right? There's like some cleaning solution that the tile doesn't interact with that we have to go back and be like, wait, okay, we can't use this tile here again, or have these banquettes reupholstered because the leather didn't turn out right. There's some things that we're always learning. That's where the education and the knowledge piece comes in, because if you don't, it's like you can't put a residential toilet in a commercial restaurant bathroom. And these are just decisions that people make mistakes on all the time, where it's like, this is not the right toilet for this application and you should know better, you know?
Yeah. What are 3 words to describe your design aesthetic?
I would say we're colorful. We're not scared of color. Layered. And also, it's almost like we're telling a story. So what I don't know how I would say that. There's a narration happening with the finishes and the materials, and I don't know how I would say that in 1 word.
I feel like you just described my aesthetic. Yes, that's why we're friends. Okay, I do want to ask a few practical questions, tips for the listener. Back to form and function and aesthetic. What are 3 small design rituals or choices that a normal person can make in their everyday that you think has a disproportionate impact? in creating a more comfortable, livable space?
A lot of people, especially in residential, have a lot of furniture that is not the right scale for their space. So like the armchairs are too big, or the sofa is like a little too, like the depth isn't right.
Yeah.
And get that area rug that goes underneath all of the furniture.
Okay.
Don't buy an area rug that's too small. We talk about this a lot in our office. I also think lighting is a really big piece. Right now, when you order a light offline, it comes with like this weird whack, like 3,000 or 3,700 LED light bulb that is so blue. No. The color temperature for homes is 2,700. Sometimes you can do 2,400. You can order it off Amazon. It's a perfect warm light bulb, still the LED.
Yeah.
And so softening those things, I think also having light that's not overhead. And so whether it's a table lamp or a floor lamp, or they do plug-in sconces now if you don't want to hardwire. They even do rechargeable, we call them art lights, so gallery lights. They are cordless and amazing. And so you can get really creative, I think, with lighting. And you can also order like a plug-in dimmer. So you can dim any single lamp. Yeah. You can also do it on your phone with an app. You can order those, which is so great. So you don't even have to turn a light switch on. They can be set to whatever you want. And the third thing, we call it the fifth wall, the ceiling. And it's really amazing for a bedroom, instead of just doing like white ceiling, white baseboards, and then like, a blue bedroom. It's like paint the ceiling and then go darker on the trim if you want. Ooh. Take a chance.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
So helpful. I mean, yes, I think you take all of that, apply it, and you've completely transformed your space.
Yeah, and those are really small things you can
affordable.
do. Yeah, very affordable. And especially with the lighting too. It's like just changing the light bulb really makes a huge difference.
I am curious, when you walk into a space, what's the first thing you notice?
That's hard. The first thing is light. It's always the light.
Yeah. And the light can be good or bad depending on, again, it's like matching up with the use of the space. Yeah.
How it's applied, if it's in the wrong space, and if the color temperature is not right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm starting to pick this up even just in the podcast video world, where it's like, I mean, I look at different podcasts, and of course, lighting is a huge thing in podcasting. I'm going to have to follow up with you on how to create the podcast vibe that I want.
Yeah.
Furniture-wise.
You could be like Drew Barrymore on the couch, where she's like holding...
I want a soft, fluffy couch.
Yeah, that feels like on brand.
Yeah. What is a moment recently that you walked into a space and felt awestruck?
Ooh. We're designing a restaurant, and I've looked at this restaurant 100 times because we're trying to finish the project. So like nitty gritty things are bothering me. There's a mural that's in it. It's like, I've been so obsessed with the details. And I walked in yesterday, the furniture's in, we're so close to opening. And I was like, damn, this looks amazing. I'm so proud of my team. Like they crushed it. And in such a short timeline. Yeah. Insane timeline. All of our vendors, I was like, wow. I was so proud.
Are you allowed to say the name?
Danny's American Bistro. It's opening in the next month or so.
Wow, cool.
It's cool. It's going to be all wines from the United States.
Yeah. So you have all of this expertise. You have applied it for countless clients and brands. You also designed your own house with your wife.
I did.
And now you have a baby. Can you tell me if that felt different, doing it for yourself and doing it with a partner?
Oh, gosh.
How did it go? How did it feel? What is the house
Going
like?
Back to the expertise thing, I do want to say I'm still learning. So never not learning. I want to say that. But I appreciate that. For our home, if she were here, she would say I love to paint everything white, because it's like, I love a neutral, it's almost like I see so much color. But I also, this goes back to our earlier conversation about activating a space, right? Yeah. We were in a transition. We were with other people. We were moving in together, and she had previously owned this home. So we needed to start from scratch, because I was just like, I don't want to be moving into this house that you had the previous life with. And she was like, I want to make this like our house. So how are we going to do that? And there were things, obviously, that she'd always dreamed of that she wanted to do. Like, we have a floor-to-ceiling bookshelf with a library ladder that she was like, you can put a bookshelf here with art, but I'm getting the ladder. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll put the ladder, the Beauty of the Beast ladder up is what we call it. And also, I'm obsessed with lighting. So there's like now 8 sconces in her house. And before, I think she had 2. So she was like, no more sconces, like our electricity bill. We found all these things that were special to us. We also changed the color of the interior. I was like, I want to paint the dining room pink. Going back to childhood, because our dining room was like this beautiful sunset pink.
Did you apply the same process that you apply when working with clients? Were you finding yourself slipping into that, or did it feel totally different to do it for yourself?
Oh, man. For every space, I think we built our own concept boards for things. And then there were things where I would have to talk her into, and then also for me as well. There was some push-pull, things that she pushed me to take chances on that I normally would be like, no. Like in our living room, there's 12 different pillows and they're all different fabrics. They're all neutral and different textures. And I was like, in my mind, because I do this all the time, I was like, this is going to be a pain in the ass when I go to the reupholsterer to have these made. Yeah. But she was like, it's going to look great. And it looks amazing.
I mean, it sounds to me like not every project goes this smoothly. So it's probably a testament to your relationship.
Oh, baby. Listen. She would say the opposite, because when I had the painters come in and everything was covered up, she's like, we can't come back here. We can't come back here until this is done. She doesn't thrive in the chaos of renovation like I do. But I was like, we'll come back and this will be all done, honey. I promise. Yeah. Or when something wasn't fitting and the millworker was like, I don't know. And I was like, don't say it in front of her. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so you got your dream house done.
Yes, and there's nothing I would change or do differently.
The other project that we haven't talked about yet is One Trick Pony.
Oh, yes. One Trick Pony.
One Trick Pony. Tell me where that idea came from, as if you needed more things to do.
Okay, no one take this offensively, because I am going to say this. And it's my personal opinion. We've both had houses in the Hamptons, and I've been out there back and forth for almost 10 years now. And it is hard to find a good cup of coffee. You know, that doesn't exist out there. There are a few brands that are like chains that are out there, and there's Starbucks, of course, but we wanted to have that and it didn't exist. And so we had a friend actually own this coffee shop. She was like, I'm going to close. And we're like, we'll take it off your hands.
Wow.
And it just was like a kismet, like friend to friend. And she's been in the business for years, but her main shop is in the North Fork, and it's amazing. So they do all of our roasting. She's an incredible mentor to us. It was just like one of those things where it was like women to women, you know, it felt like very empowering. And so we took over this coffee shop, and we were able to get a liquor license as well. And it started out as a hobby, and now it has become much bigger than we could have imagined.
Because it's doing so well.
It is doing very well. There's a line out the door all summer long, and we have regulars on both sides in the morning and in the evening. It has really become a place for community. So we do drag bingo every other Thursday with one of my favorite queens, who's often in Fire Island. And we do trivia. Like we have done a lot for the town. People that like look forward they come with their kids, they come with their families, you know. And it's like a ritual. They come get a breakfast burrito and a coffee or a cold brew before they head to the beach. We're at the stop on the way to grab breakfast before they go to the beach. Candace, my wife, works so hard. She's an incredible chef. So everything is handmade, even our ketchup. Like, it's so delicious. So, like, it's small details. She's constantly making homemade syrups for all of our, like, summer or fall drinks. Our cocktails are crafted with the same gusto. Like, now we're using fig in our fall cocktail recipes. We want people to feel like there's something that's always changing and evolving because we care so much. It is a beast owning a restaurant. It has definitely given me a lot of perspective. For my clients.
Know, having done it, I'm like, how do you do it on top of everything else that you do?
I mean, the beginning of that was, yes, we started One Trick Pony 2 years ago. And when we started, I was like, oh, yeah, like I've done this before. I can start a business. I know all the things to like get all sorted. And a restaurant is a totally different beast. Yeah. I definitely had right. I remember how hard this was. Yeah. It is something that we're both passionate about. We love everything about being in a restaurant. And so being able to give people something that they love so much, whether it is the perfect breakfast sandwich or like cup of coffee or cocktail, it's like people are happy, you know?
I love that. I mean, I am all about in-person experiences.
Yes.
As you know, it's basically the point of the podcast. So I would only imagine that you applying your 360 macro thinking of the experience and actually bringing a physical space to life, it's going to be good.
Oh,
That would be my guess.
well, the space was challenging in itself. I worked on it with my wife, who has amazing taste, but there's obviously always a push-pull. I was like, I want to put black wallpaper on the ceiling that's floral, and she was like, okay, but what do flowers have to do with our brand? And I was like, magnolias, we're both from the South.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like we're going through all like how we're telling the story of the brand, and people take a picture of the ceiling all the time, but I was like, I want it to feel like night in here when we're turning it down for cocktail service.
Love it.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about next?
Oh, well, that's a great question. I think right now my life has always been what's next, what's next, what's next. And I think that's what's driven me to get to basically where I am. And now it's like we have the coffee, we have all of these things, right, that are beautiful. I have a kid now, which is insane.
Yeah.
Right now is the first time in my life that I'm really trying to be present in the moment that I'm in. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of hard things that are happening, and my life is challenging with like scheduling and logistics, always logistics. So how can I be a good friend when I'm sitting down and having a conversation and fully present this morning, not on my phone, and we're having a conversation over a cup of coffee? The past week, girl, meeting with people, I've literally had 3 breakfasts in the past week where people have told me the craziest shit that they're going through. And this is the first time in my life where I'm like, damn, I'm not going through any crazy shit right now, finally. But I've been so fully present in the moment to sit with them. Okay, let's talk about and ask questions, because normally people are like, here's what you should do. But I was like, well, can you tell me about how you feel about this thing and that thing? And then also being present with my child and understanding the milestones are the most beautiful part about having a baby and a child, that you watch them learn and grow, and it's cool. Even though I have to work, you know, a 10-hour a day or be wherever I need to be. And then also being present for my partner and understanding like she is having her own existence in the world right now. Mm-hmm. And how is she feeling? And is she tired? Or is there something that how I can support her, instead of going nonstop and being so obsessively driven by career? And there is one side piece. We are likely opening a one-trick pony in Charleston. We're in the middle of working on that right now. It's far for us, but we have like a really good team down there that's like set to take it on. Expanding makes sense in the right place. Mm-hmm. And that town is so wonderful.
Yeah. I love that. It is all about presence now. It's the most valuable asset. I mean, in a way, it's why I love and have started a podcast, because it's like this little bubble. You're not allowed to be on your phone.
Yeah, and we're having a conversation.
I get you for an hour.
We're connecting.
Yeah.
And also there's so much shit that's happening in the world right now, like outside of the United States of America, inside of and social media has become such a wild place. And then with AI and technology becoming whatever it will become, this is the most valuable thing right now. Yeah. And also just like actually understanding that people have so many layers in their day and personal lives, and then being able to connect with someone and ask the right questions and thoughtfully hear them and listen, you know, I think is so valuable. I think it's so great for you.
Thank you.
And it makes,
I'm having fun.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And also you get to hang out with some of your favorite people.
Exactly.
And learn. And you obviously have an amazing roster of people that you connect with. Like you have really amazing friends and talented people in your life. So it's going to be great.
Thanks. Shelly, thank you so much for being on the show. You have always loved and been incredibly talented at design, and specifically interior design. And you've done it for homes, you've done it for restaurants and wellness and offices. And it's amazing that you're able to get it right for each of those very different use cases in a way that makes the person experiencing the space just like feel more at peace and at ease.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for that. And also,
you can write our bio if you want to. Can you type that out and just put it on our website?
And also, you yourself have gone through so many very dramatic evolutions in life. And it's amazing to see unfold while you stay true to just creating beauty in the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This has been a pleasure. It's always good to see you.
It's so good.
I feel like this is
so
every
good.
time we have a coffee, I'm like, oh shit, 3 hours later.
Yeah.